so late. I waited around and then I run to the door. I can't take anymore. It's not you. You let me down again. Baby, baby, try to find a little time and I'll make you happy. I'll be home, I'll be beside the phone waiting for you. Why do you build me up, Buttercup, baby, just to let me down and mess me around? And then worst of all, you never call, baby, when you say you will. But I love you still, I need you more than anyone, darling. You know that I have from the start. So build me up, Buttercup, don't break my heart. You are my toy, but I could be the boy you adore if you just let me know. Although you are true, I'm attracted to you all the more. Why do I need you so? Baby, baby, try to find a little time and I'll make you happy. I'll be home, I'll be beside the phone waiting for you. Why do you build me up, Buttercup, baby, just to let me down and mess me around? And then worst of all, you never call, baby, when you say you will. But I love you still, I need you more than anyone, darling. You know that I have from the start. So build me up, Buttercup, don't break my heart. Why do you build me up, Buttercup, baby, just to let me down and mess me around? And then worst of all, you never call, baby, when you say you will. But I love you still, I need you more than anyone, darling. You know that I have from the start. So build me up, Buttercup, don't break my heart.
Buttercup's getting to go for a swim, exercise his legs. His legs really healing well. And we're making progress on his foot. So he did get up yesterday and stand up on his peg a little bit. And he's having a nice day in the sun, taking a bath and swimming. Buttercup. Come on, Buttercup. Alright, so it's June 30th, 9 o'clock. All the molds have finished setting and the sock's in place. You can see right here the foot's still in the mold. The silicone sock is in place. And now we're going to take it apart. So we're going to easily lift the sock and the peg out. Notice the bushing in the bottom for the retainer. Keyway in the front for alignment. Okay, we're going to take the foot out of the mold. There's the foot. The foot's designed inside where it fits exactly the sock. Right now the sock will roll off. So get it at the top and roll it down just like we would a sock. And roll it until it comes right off. Okay. So now we're ready to try it on Buttercup. Alright, here's what we've all been waiting for. A looking at the center of Buttercup's leg, and I'm lining up the sock. I'm going to roll it up on his leg like so. Get the feathers out of it. Okay. There's the sock. Now we're going to take the foot and line up. Line that up. Hold on, Buttercup. Push that up on there. And then put the screw in the side. And that goes in the bushing in the bottom. Check it. Make sure it's in there good. Looks good. Good boy, Buttercup. Okay, I'm going to take him outside and give it a try. Alright, Buttercup. You ready? 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 Check it out. Check it out. Check it out. Give me right on. Come on, Buttercup.
Here, Buttercup. Buttercup.
Come on, bud.
Come on, Buttercup.
Come on, everybody, walk down this way. Come on, Buttercup. Come on. Look. Come on.
Buttercup.
Come on, Buttercup. Come on, boy. Come on. Come on, son. Come on. What I got? I got your bed. I got your bed. Come on. Come on, look at him go. Oh my gosh, look at him. Look at him go. Look at him go. Buttercup. Can you still see it?
Mm-hmm.
Buttercup. Look at you go.
What a good boy.
All right, come this way, Marilyn. Come on, bud. Come on, Buttercup. Come on. Come on, let's get back on the grass. Come on. Come on. Look at you go. Oh my goodness. Look at you go. Look at you go.
It won't stay focused, Dad.
Look at you go. What do you think? You gotta get used to it. Buttercup. Come on, bud. Good job. Look, it's working. Look at him. Where are you going? Where are you going to? Where are you going? Come on. Look, he's straight and everything. Come on, bud. Come on, Buttercup. Come on, Buttercup. Now you can see him in the light. Come on. Come on. Come on.
Good boy. Good boy.
Good. Come on, Buttercup. Come on.
Good. Yeah, we can do it. Okay, we're gonna run it in one more. Okay. And I'll be back by the time y'all do it. Come on. Come on. Let's walk.
on, Buttercup. Come on, Buttercup. Wanna go for a swim? Go for a swim? Come on. There you go. How you doing? Get your bath. Get your bath, Buttercup. There you go. Buttercup. You through bathing?
Technology is giving a Mid-South duck a second chance at walking. Meet This is Buttercup. He was born with a deformed leg that had to be amputated, but thanks to 3D printing technology, he'll soon be able to have a structurally strong and flexible leg to get around with the rest of his friends. His caretaker runs a nonprofit sanctuary for ducks and says when they asked Nashville's Nova Copy to help them engineer the leg, they were immediately on board. The materials for the final foot just came in last week.
News 5 at 6.
Tonight at 6, we're sharing with you how prosthetics are not only for human beings.
That's right, only on 5. A 3D printer is giving a Mid-South duck a second chance at waddling. Action News 5's Anna Marie Hartman is live with this remarkable story tonight. Anna?
Well, this is how 3D printing works. You take a picture, take a 360-degree angle of it, and create a computer-generated 3D photo. Then, a robotic arm creates a plastic model. Now, it's been a little controversial because some people are actually replicating guns with this technology, but one Mid-South man is helping a fine feathered friend get back on his feet.
Dozens of rescued ducks and geese roam the Feathered Angels Waterfowl Sanctuary.
Skinner, come on.
And owner Mike Gary knows just about every one by name.
Every one of them has such a personality.
A particular duck he's taken under his wing is about to benefit from the latest technology.
Cup.
Buttercup was born with an inverted foot, a birth defect so painful his foot had to be amputated. He gets around with a peg leg, playing with his favorite stuffed teddy bear he's had since birth, and flirting with just about anyone who enters the room. But in just a few weeks, this talkative 9-month-old will be back on 2 feet.
I just kind of thought, let me think out of the box and come up with, why can't I just make him a real foot?
Buttercup's sister Minnie modeled her foot so Gary could create a 3D computer image. Nova Copy in Nashville donated their 3D printing services to produce a plastic replica.
The printing of his foot that I needed to make the mold took 13.5 hours.
Buttercup's model is made of hard plastic, so Gary will use it to cast a mold and make him a more flexible version that will slip onto his leg just like a boot.
Buttercup's unique. He's unique just like the rest of them. And, you know, it's worth doing. You know, it's worth doing to help him out.
Some high-tech help for a lucky duck from an animal lover whose compassion equals his creativity.
Buttercup should have his new foot just in time for his television appearance coming up on the Today Show very soon. If you'd like to know more about the Feathered Angels Waterfowl Sanctuary, you can go to our website, WMCTV.com. Click on the link with my story. Reporting live tonight, I'm Anna Marie Hartman, Action News 5.
Well, now for a real ducktail in Music City. A feathered friend is up and moving tonight thanks to some advanced 3D printing technology. Buttercup the duck hatched with a deformed left foot, but is finally moving well and carefree after being fitted with a prosthetic. Here's Channel 4's Forrest Sanders.
Buttercup the duck is suiting up,
Calm down.
anxious to step out. But stepping out at all is an incredible feat for an animal walking easily for the first time in his life with the use of 3D printing technology.
Buttercup was part of a hatching project in a biology class, and one of the students adopted Buttercup and took him home with her. His left foot was severely deformed and basically turned backwards when he came out of the egg.
That student gave Buttercup to Mike Gary at the Feathered Angels Waterfowl Sanctuary in Bartlett.
I felt like I could make a difference and help him out and create a foot for him.
Come get Daddy.
Some type of a rubber-type foot that would have some give and cushion to it.
A quick search of the internet led Gary to Novacopy, where he submitted images of a duck's foot into their 3D printing technology.
It will look at that particular model and determine how many layers of material are required to print or layer that part up.
As for Buttercup, he's in the midst of meet and greets with his public, sharing today with old friends.
Really, for it to work as well as it has was pretty great.
In Nashville, I'm Forrest Sanders, Channel 4 News.
At Novacopy today, Aflac made a surprise $3,000 donation in Buttercup's name.
When he came out of the egg, his left foot was deformed, turned backwards, and kind of wadded up in a ball.
A Nashville company is helping a handicapped duck waddle again thanks to new 3D technology. Welcome back to Nashville's News 2 at 4.
You might never expect a printing company that could help a duck missing a foot, but when one turned up in West Tennessee, his owner called a Nashville printing company to print him another one. News 2's Jamie Tucker explains.
What do you call a duck with one foot? You call this one Buttercup. Born in a high school biology lab, Buttercup's foot was backwards. He couldn't walk. A veterinarian told Buttercup's owner, Mike Gary, that something had to be done.
That he would be better with a peg leg than a deformed foot. And so at that point, we did surgery.
As a result, Buttercup hobbled, not waddled. So Gary, who runs a waterfowl sanctuary in West Tennessee, started looking for a way to give Buttercup a new foot. He turned to Nashville printing company Novacopy.
The technology's been around for a very, very long time.
The technology is called 3D printing.
He generated the design for the foot, modeled after another duck, and he sent the file over to us to take a look at it.
Novacopy took that design to create a three-dimensional image, then entered that into a printer that uses plastic.
And with each pass, the printer is jetting or layering another layer of plastic.
Layer by layer, 13 hours later, Novacopy had a prototype of a prosthetic duck foot.
Oh, it's exact. It's an exact copy of one of our other duck's left foot.
Buttercup got his new foot over the weekend.
It definitely, he's more comfortable with it, for sure. He can walk much faster with it.
It's amazing technology. Melissa Ragsdale from Novacopy explains that the 3D printer can print just about anything.
Could be napkin rings for your dining room table. Could be shower curtain rings where you've broken a shower curtain ring. It could be a set of coffee cups.
Or a foot for a lucky duck.
Two goals I had was help Buttercup so that he could go out, be outside, swim, do everything else all of our other ducks and geese do. Just have a normal life.
And he says Buttercup can do that now. Jamie Tucker, Nashville's News 2.
Buttercup's home, a waterfowl sanctuary in Arlington, Tennessee, is a nonprofit agency. And wouldn't you know, today Aflac presented a $3,000 check to help other ducks and geese.
This little guy is no ordinary duck. Take a look at this amazing video of Buttercup taking his first steps on a prosthetic foot, created in part by a 3D printer.
Come on, look at him go. Oh my gosh, look at him.
Mike Gary has been rescuing and caring for dozens of ducks and geese at the Feathered Angels Sanctuary in Tennessee for 7 years, but he's never had a duck like Buttercup before. When Buttercup was hatched as part of a biology project at a local high school, students noticed a crippling birth defect. That's when Gary took Buttercup under his wing.
Buttercup's unique. It's worth doing. You know, it's worth doing to help him out.
The misformed foot was causing Buttercup so much pain it had to be amputated, leaving Buttercup with a peg leg that he barely managed to hobble around on. But Gary had a plan to fix that.
I just kind of thought, let me think out of the box and come up with, why can't I just make him a real foot?
Using Buttercup's sister Minnie's foot as a model, Gary created a 3D computer image. He sent it to NovaCopy, a 3D printing company in Nashville, which donated its services to create an identical plastic replica. Gary and a team then worked tirelessly to recreate the hard plastic foot in a softer, easier to use silicone version. And finally, proving he's no chicken, Buttercup bravely walked around on his own 2 feet.
Come on, look at him go. Oh my gosh, look at him.
Pamela Brown, CNN, New York.
Duck unable to walk because of a bum foot. That duck now walking thanks to a new foot made on a 3D printer. The duck will join us next.
It's now past the hour. Veterinarians said he would never waddle like other ducks anymore. We're talking about Buttercup, born in a Tennessee high school biology lab with a bum foot. But thanks to 3D printing technology and one very determined engineer, Buttercup is back on his feet this morning and ready to live a normal life. We're getting him to walk for us on camera. He's not camera shy this morning. Mike Gary is the man who created Buttercup's foot. He joins me now from Nashville alongside Buttercup the duck. Mike, nice to see you this morning.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm doing well. How's Buttercup doing? Is he camera shy?
Not at all. He's a camera hog, actually.
Good. We'll get him to perform for us in a little bit here. But first, tell us about what happened when he was born, or what was his deformity like, and why did it inhibit his ability to walk?
Yeah, he was hatched with a deformed left foot. It was basically turned backwards and kind of wadded up. If you think of it like taking your hand, it's kind of taking like your hand and turning it backwards. And so he was kind of walking on the backside of his foot, and tried some initial casting and things like that to try to turn it around, but you know, it was just too big of a deformity. So they, little girl that had him kept him for a couple months. He got big, and they were living in a condo, and she contacted our sanctuary, found us on the internet, and asked us, you know, if we would be willing to take Buttercup in, give him a home, and that's kind of where we started from.
And then back in February, a vet had to amputate his foot. Is that right?
Right. The very first step was to talk with our veterinarian about, you know, what we need to do for his health. And the first thing he needed was to remove his foot, because a duck with a peg leg is much better than a deformed foot, because a lot of his tendons are twisted, and his hips are kind of twisted. He's spraddle-legged anyway. So he has some other deformities, you know, that go along with the foot.
So then you sat down at your computer and with some 3D software, began to do what?
Right. While he was healing from that, I had the idea, well, why can't I just create a foot? I'm a software engineer and build things and weld, and so I just came up with the idea that surely I can do something to help Buttercup. And so I just kind of thought out of the box and said, you know, ideally what I would like to create is another duck foot. Since we have a sanctuary with a lot of other ducks, then I ought to be able to just create a foot just like one of my other ducks. I was already familiar with 3D printing as a hobby level, you know, and 3D modeling and CAD. And so I literally took images of one of my other ducks, started with the camera, and went all the way around 360 degrees around her left foot, and then used Autodesk AutoCatch, which is a free software package. You upload all of those images, and then it returns a 3D model.
So you get this 3D
and it looks
model.
like this foot.
And there it is. There's a close-up of that foot. The actual foot that you were able to just design, and with 3D model printing, which is the future, folks, by the way. We see this with other body parts, with jaw implants in human beings. We've seen that. We actually had a live demo on our show before. So now with that foot attached, how is Buttercup walking? Will he walk for us?
He will walk for us. The final foot is made of urethane rubber. The 3D printing was an intermediate process that was done by NovaCopy, who volunteered their services to me. But the final foot has a sock in it that is stretchy, that sticks to his leg, and it's rubber urethane, so it won't tear. You can see kind of how he's standing. His muscles are not adjusted yet, because it's just finished Sunday. So you want to see him walk?
Yeah, I want to see him walk. Come on, Buttercup.
Okay. All right. This is my buddy and volunteer, Trey Bruce, who's a Nashville hit songwriter, and he volunteers at our sanctuary and is helping us today. All right, Buttercup, come get Teddy. Buttercup loves his teddy bear. Come on, bud. Come on, come get Teddy. He does really good, like in the grass and outside. But like I say, he's walking on his heel right now because it's going to take his muscles a while to get accustomed
to the different positioning because his leg now is the correct length, and before it was short. So
that's wonderful.
he's doing
Hey,
really
you walked
good
across the table. That's
so
better than
far.
he was doing before, and thanks to 3D printing.
Absolutely.
Incredible technology.
Absolutely.
Mike Gary, we appreciate you joining us this morning from Feathered Angels Waterfowl Sanctuary down there in Nashville. Thanks so much. Thanks, Buttercup.
Thank you. Thank you. Bye-bye.
He's talking a lot, Gretchen. I don't know if you can hear that. That's how he talks. Sounds like...
There's another story that has a lot of you talking as well as us.
Absolutely. You know, yesterday we had a dog that balanced. Today, oh boy, we get even bigger. Buttercup gets some high-tech help to get around. Wait till you hear this duck story.
We have the technology. Okay, a question for you here this morning. What does a Shelby County businessman, a computer printer, and a duck have in common? This is no joke. They are all part of one big story making national news this week.
Mike Gary owns the Feathered Angels Waterfowl Sanctuary in Arlington, Tennessee, where Buttercup the duck lives. But Buttercup had a big problem. Yeah, we hear you, baby. You're a superstar. The problem's been fixed by a 3D printer of all things. Mike, explain this to us.
All right.
What happened
Well,
to Buttercup?
let's kind of start at the beginning.
Okay.
Buttercup was part of a hatching project at Houston High School.
Okay.
And which, by the way, hatching projects really don't need to happen because these guys are domestics. They don't fly. There's domestic geese also that don't fly. And so when they're hatched, they're basically like a puppy or a kitten. They're not like a mallard that can fly off. And so people take them home. Kids think, oh, they're cute. They take them home. But then 2 months later, they're full grown. They don't live in somebody's house. And the parents are like, you got to do something with them. And we call it innocent ignorance because people think, oh, they'll be happy at the park. We'll take them to the park.
So it can be a problem for a lot of people who are not aware.
It's a huge problem because they don't make a commitment to them as pets. And you wouldn't take a puppy that you raised and go put it out on its own.
Because they can't live.
They can't fly. They're not designed for the wild.
So, Mike, what happened next?
Okay, so Chase Wellborn is the little girl, took him home from the hatching project, took care of him, tried to straighten his leg out. He was born, his left leg was deformed. It was kind of turned backwards like so, and so he was walking on the backside of his foot.
Okay.
And so they worked on a little bit with the cast with her veterinarian and was unsuccessful.
Okay.
And after a couple months, she found us on the internet, our sanctuary, and sent us an email and said, would you be willing to adopt Buttercup and give him a good home?
And did you have to remove the foot or?
We did.
Okay.
We did. Dr. Shannon McGee at the Collierville Animal Clinic is our exotic vet, takes care of all of our birds, and he suggested that he was a lot better as a peg leg duck than having a deformed foot because of the pain and it would bleed and things like that.
So how did Buttercup get the new foot?
So once we amputated the foot, I had the idea that I could create him a prosthetic foot that was exactly like a duck foot rather than some kind of plastic.
How could you do this?
Well, we have another duck named Minnie.
Okay.
It's his girlfriend, which is
Wait, Buttercup has a girlfriend?
Right.
Oh, I thought Buttercup was a girl. Sorry.
Buttercup's a boy.
Sorry,
Okay.
Buttercup.
Buttercup's a boy, has a girlfriend, and Minnie is the same size and the same type of duck.
Okay.
So I thought if I can make a copy of Minnie's left foot, then that will give him the foot he needs.
Okay. And you did this with a device that's really getting a lot of buzz these days, a 3D printer.
That's right, because ultimately I needed to create a rubber foot.
Okay.
And so, but to get to a rubber foot, Minnie would not stand still in a silicone mold so I could model her foot.
Sure. So, Mike, as you keep talking,
So
we're
is
going to actually go ahead and put on the foot
You want to
there.
put on the foot?
Right, sure.
Do you need, what do you
Let's
need?
do that. If you can come over here by me.
Okay. I can help.
I'll keep talking while we're doing this.
Okay. All right, so you make the mold. Now you want me to do what now?
So the first thing I did with Minnie was took pictures all around her foot, about 25 or 30 pictures. And you take those pictures and you upload them to an AutoCAD, Autodesk website, and it takes those images and converts them into a 3D model. Okay?
That's amazing. Had you ever done this before with a printer, or were you flying blind?
No, most of it I figured out as I went. But since I'm in computers, I was aware of the technology and used to it. So
how long did it take? Was it a lengthy process?
A few months of design and working on everything. Now let me show you. This is a silicone sock that I invented that has the front, and so I basically just roll it down.
Okay.
And then line it up on his peg, and then it just rolls right up on there.
And it doesn't
like
hurt him at all, right?
Doesn't hurt. It's stretchy. It won't come off.
Okay.
Then I made the foot out of urethane. It's industrial grade urethane. It's really tough. And then I just line it up.
The first time you put it on him, how was he?
Just like this.
Really?
Exactly like this.
And
he's used to his foot being messed with his entire life.
I guess
so. It's really not a big deal.
Because he's very calm.
Yeah.
Buttercup, you're so that's it?
That's it.
Oh, hello. Okay, he's trying to fly.
Here we go. Here we go.
All right, so we'll just kind of let him stand up there for a minute. He'll turn around.
Is it awkward? Was it awkward for him to when he first started walking?
Not at all.
On
I mean, it was just like this. Now, if you notice that it tips up, his muscles are not used to that because the length of his leg is shorter than his right foot, and so his muscles are adapted differently, and so he doesn't hold that leg straight yet, and so it's tipping up. But once his muscles get stronger, he'll be able to straighten it up, and the foot will come on down.
Mike, how long would that take for the muscles to possibly get a little bit stronger?
I don't know. We're going to go by Dr. McGee's this afternoon with some of our other birds, and he's going to look at him and kind of see what we think. I may have to adjust the leg, make another design a little bit, but let me finish about the design. So once I took pictures all around Minnie's leg, what I got back was a 3D model that was this foot right here that you see.
And that's
an exact copy, and that's printed by a company called Nova Copy, donated their services to me to print that foot for me.
And that's the material it prints in? And Aflac did something to help, right?
This week, Aflac stepped up. I was in Nashville doing some media appearances up there with Nova Copy, and Aflac made a donation to our sanctuary for $3,000, which is great.
Because isn't the Aflac duck itself going through some rehab?
Absolutely, and that's an animated duck.
Yes.
So this is a real duck.
This is a real thing, Buttercup.
How long will he have to wear per day? Do you keep it on for a few hours to get that muscle built up?
Yeah, and I'm still kind of working on some different designs on it, so I'm taking it off, working on new things with it, but
oh, yeah.
Oh, there's Teddy
What's
Bear.
The story of Teddy? Here, let's...
All right, so Chase got him Teddy when he was a day old.
Yes, we hear you, Buttercup. We hear you.
He loves Teddy.
We hear you, Buttercup.
Now, he doesn't love Teddy more than he loves Minnie, though, does he? I mean, after all, Minnie gave him his new foot.
Exactly.
Yes. That's it,
Buttercup.
That's it.
Only on Live at 9 do you find this kind of TV.
Buttercup will be replacing the Aflac duck.
And we're going to link to, we're going to link to your website so that other people can make donations and help. Thank you for
That would be great, and please don't get domestic ducks and geese as babies and then put them out after a couple months because they will starve and suffer and die.
Mike, thank you. Buttercup, thank you for your time as well. We'll be back more Live at 9 in just a second. Buttercup? Yes.
Thank you.
Which is a major factor, and this is breaking news. This is just coming in from Buttercup. Yes? Yes? Is something you want to say? What? Yes.
Hold him up.
Yeah, that's it.
He wants a good forecast, dog.
Get your Teddy.
Oh, there you go. Buttercup.
Hello, Buttercup.
Yes. Yeah. This is Todd.
Nice to see you. Thank you for being part of the show here.
Buttercup wants to know about your weather forecast.
That's just fine. It was a great idea to put him up here until he decided to flap the wings just a little tiny bit and everything went way.
Yes. That's it.
You got
Buttercup stealing the show again. Yes, Buttercup. Todd. What? Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Right. I know. Buttercup. I know.
Okay, Buttercup. We got the
Officially
weekend
in
now.
love with Buttercup, Todd. I'm sorry, you're being upstaged by a duck.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Thank you.
You bet.
Roll it, Kevin. Okay, so I know you're jamming to that. Still to come, building up Buttercup. A disabled Mid-South duck is back on his feet thanks to a high-tech printer. We're going to have more on that when we come back.
Hey, welcome back, everybody. A Mid-South duck with a disability has finally got his waddle back thanks to 3D printing technology. Buttercup was born with his left foot turned backwards. And as Fox 13's Earl Farrell reports, thanks to a local sanctuary, he now has something, I had to say it, to quack about.
And I feel like Buttercup is an ambassador for all of the domestic birds.
Welcome to the Feathered Angels Sanctuary near Arlington, Tennessee, a place for domestic geese and ducks who have, for one reason or another, ended up here.
Come on, Buttercup. Come on. Got wings. They're normal, but they've been bred over the past hundreds of years for meat and eggs was basically their purpose. And so
they don't fly.
They're heavy-bodied, and it's basically been bred out of them.
So most of these geese and ducks were at one time pets given to children at Easter or even science projects. But once the fun is over, The geese and the ducks are either dumped near a lake or pond, or if they're really lucky, brought here. And that is the case with Buttercup the duck. He was the school experiment, but was born with a deformed left foot. And once the experiment was over, none of the kids wanted Buttercup, except for one little girl.
Look at Daddy. Look at Daddy. She kept Buttercup for about 2.5 months, and she found us on the internet. She looked on the internet for sanctuaries. Just so happened we were in the same town, and sent us an email and said, would you be willing to give Buttercup a home? You know, here's his problem. And so I said, sure, that'd be fine. I'll be glad to take him in.
I might think that was as good as this story was going to get. But here's where Buttercup turns out to be one of the luckiest ducks in the whole world. Turns out that Mike Gary is not only a bird lover, he is the owner of a computer consulting firm. He knows computers and the latest technology, stuff like 3D printing.
I was familiar with 3D printing from a hobby level and just the interest from my business. But I wanted to create a foot, but I wanted to create a real duck foot. Say hi. You can pet him.
He took still pictures of one of his healthy ducks from every direction, made 3D prints, took it to a Nova Print, a big national copier company in Memphis, who helped finish the job. Next came the mold making, and then the duck foot for Buttercup.
So the ultimate goal was to make a rubber foot with some type of attachment or some way to attach it onto his foot that would flex and bend, but also figured a duck foot gives them support.
But would it work? Yes, indeed. You are looking at one happy duck.
Come on.
And now the real test. Can Buttercup swim with his new foot?
Let's go for a swim. He may decide he wants out.
Like a duck to water, and for the first time in his young duck life, Buttercup feels, well, like a duck. Now if they can just convince Buttercup that he is a duck.
Now what he's doing right there is pretty amazing.
Now if they can just convince Buttercup that he is a duck and not a human being with his very own teddy bear. Yeah, that's probably expecting just a little too much. Earl Farrell, Fox 13 News.
First for the South's Grand Hotel today, an honorary duck waddled down the red carpet. Buttercup is no ordinary duck. He only has one real foot. He was born with a birth defect. An Arlington couple who runs a refuge for abandoned ducks adopted Buttercup, and then they worked with a local company called Nova Copy to make Buttercup a 3D plastic foot.
To see him just take off and run down the red carpet was pretty great. I worked on a new version of his foot yesterday and actually didn't finish it till this morning. It's a little taller boot. And so it seemed like he's doing great with it, running right along and doing great.
He's getting custom feet now. A Peabody spokesperson calls this the highest honor any duck could have. Again, Buttercup is the very first honorary duck. The hotel's ducks have walked that red carpet for 80 years, making the march from the roof to the lobby fountain every morning and evening.
Go, Buttercup, go.
That is awesome.
Yeah, that duck's getting along there.
Yeah, he leads the life.
Hey, welcome back, everybody. Remember the story of Buttercup, the duck with the new webbed foot thanks to a 3D printer? Well, guess what? The story just got better. As Fox 13's Earl Farrell reports, Buttercup got the opportunity today to pal around with some of the world-famous Memphis mallards.
Come on.
The story of Buttercup the duck does not have the best of beginnings. He was a school science project, but when he hatched, his left foot was bent backwards. Eventually ended up at a waterfowl sanctuary because nobody wanted him. His problem foot became a challenge for Mike Gary, head of the sanctuary. His day job is running his own computer consulting firm, and his idea was making a duck foot for Buttercup using 3D printing. And he did it with the help of Nova Copy 3D printing solutions in Memphis. And before you could shake a tail feather, Buttercup was walking.
Let's go for a swim.
Swimming. And being just a duck for the first time in his young duck life.
Let's go. Come on, come on.
In less than a week, the story of Buttercup the duck went worldwide. People, it seems, just love Buttercup and his story. You have to admit things look bleak for Buttercup, but his life and a whole lot of other lives have been changed forever thanks to a duck foot made by a 3D printer.
It's crazy. I've had people contact me from Australia that have dingoes that need help, New Zealand, Brazil, all over the world. It's truly been incredible. Line up his foot. It slides right on. And I think the awareness that we've raised about the domestic flocks has been amazing. To me, that's the most important thing. The donations would be great, and that helps our little cause. But when you educate the public about all of them, to me, that's a big deal.
And apparently what's good for the duck is good for, well, you name it.
We have heard from 24 countries to date. We have received requests for feet for chicken, for other ducks and other geese. We've received requests for tails for dogs. We've received requests, which we're actually exploring now, for fingers for a gentleman. So we have, people are beginning to understand what the technology can be used for.
That's right.
This is the bar in the lobby of the world-famous Peabody Hotel. This is where presidents come when they come to Memphis. This is where movie stars and rock stars stay. So it should come as no surprise that Buttercup the duck would come to the Peabody.
Today we're doing a very special march starting at about 10:30. We'll be inducting, for the first time in all of our 80 years, an honorary Peabody duck.
Not until Buttercup the duck. I said it before and I'll say it again. Buttercup is the luckiest duck in the world, and he just keeps getting luckier. Earl Farrell, Fox 13 News.
You know, for a duck, that's a high honor.
I know, that's some big fanfare there. Walking down the red carpet to the flashes.
At the Peabody. And you've been there, right?
Oh, absolutely.
I think everyone has been there. It's such a great time. And today was the day to be inside a
An all-time first for the South's Grand Hotel. An honorary duck waddled the red carpet today. Buttercup's no ordinary duck, though. He has one real foot, just one real foot. He was born with a birth defect. An Arlington couple that runs a refuge for abandoned ducks adopted Buttercup. They worked with a local company, Nova Copy, to make a 3D plastic foot for the duck.
To see him just take off and run down the red carpet was pretty great. I worked on a new version of his foot yesterday and actually didn't finish it till this morning. It's a little taller boot, and so it seemed like he's doing great with it, running right along and doing great.
A Peabody spokesperson calls this the highest honor any duck could have. That duck, you wouldn't know that duck didn't have his normal duck leg.
He is a superstar duck.
Anyway, he's the very first honorary duck. The hotel's ducks have walked the red carpet for 80 years, making the march from the roof to the lobby every morning and every evening.
It's not often I get to share the desk with a furry fowl. This is Buttercup. This is his friend, Mike Gary, from the Feathered Angels Waterfowl Sanctuary. Buttercup is a very special duck, though, because, Mike, if you would, start by showing us why Buttercup is so special.
All right, turn him around here.
Notice his left foot.
See, stand up, baby.
That's a rubber foot. That's a 3D printed prosthetic for a duck.
Yeah.
You've probably heard us talk about Buttercup because he was a special guest at the Peabody today. Let's take a look at this. And Mike, explain to me how you came up with this idea. What happened to Buttercup? Why does he have to have a prosthetic? And how did you come up with this?
Yeah, Buttercup was born with a deformed left foot. He's part of a hatching project at a local high school. And part of the problem with manually hatching birds is that the mother knows how to turn the eggs properly. Right. If they're not turned properly, they get deformities like this.
Understood.
So he was born with a bad foot and couldn't walk on the foot, and it would bleed and things like that.
Sure.
So we adopted him into our sanctuary back in February.
And you came up with a very interesting answer, because this foot was created by a 3D printer. A lot about the applications of 3D printers, but in the area of prostheses, I mean, this could be a medical miracle just waiting to happen.
Right. I think that this is where everything will be going for sure in the future. With this being a prototype, the 3D printing was like the middle part of the process.
Right.
This final foot that you see is a urethane rubber foot, which was created using this mold, basically. But the mold was created from a 3D printed foot.
How did you get a 3D printed foot, though?
Yeah, so took pictures of one of my other duck's left foot and used a software package called AutoCatch. That's 3D modeling. It's what everybody's using now. And you upload that to their website, and it downloads a 3D model that, when you look at it on the computer, looks just like this.
Wow.
Okay? But then I needed a physical copy of that, and so worked with a company locally called NovaCopy that has the highest tech 3D printers. They agreed to donate their services, and they sent me this as the first version. So what you're seeing is an exact replica of Minnie's left foot, his girlfriend. And once I had that step, I knew that the second part was to modify this design to the second design that you see. And what I did on the computer was fattened up the leg portion so that it was large enough that then when I made the mold, that it would be the final size that you see.
Right.
It basically goes on like a pencil eraser if you think about that.
Sure. Now, Buttercup was a very special guest at the Peabody today.
Right.
I know that had, I know it was a thrill for you.
Yeah.
And we've got video. What about Buttercup? He seemed to take to the fountain pretty quickly.
He did. He had a ball and loved running down the red carpet, and loves the water, loves to swim. And so.
And he can swim with that leg.
Yeah, he can swim with it. Probably right now he doesn't swim quite as well, because he's just not used to it, you know, swimming much with it. But he can still get around fine and do great with it.
Man, that is awesome. Mike Gary, I appreciate your time. Buttercup,
Glad
it was nice to meet you. Do you have any parting words?
Teddy. Talk to Teddy.
There you go, he talks to Teddy. That's awesome. Mike, thanks for being here.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
All right, love Buttercup there. And of course, live shot here. Came to the rescue of a feathered friend. When this duck was born with a deformity, it was a printer that helped him, well, walk like a duck.
It's actually a really amazing story. But first, more on the story about a lame duck. Literally, Buttercup, a Pekin duck, was born with an inverted foot, a painful deformity that prevented him from walking. Until now. Gabe Gutierrez has the story of Buttercup's big comeback.
This is Buttercup.
Buttercup was born last November with his left foot inverted. He couldn't walk. But the lame duck was soon adopted by Feathered Angels Waterfowl Sanctuary in Memphis, Tennessee. In February, the rescue organization arranged for Buttercup to have surgery to remove his bad foot.
He's a cheerful little duck, happy all the time, even without his little, with one little foot.
Buttercup had a hard time getting around. So Mike Gary from the sanctuary had an idea. Why not a prosthetic foot?
I wanted to make him a foot that was a real duck foot. And so best way to create a duck foot was to copy one of my other duck's feet. I would do a lot of design on paper and on the computer and try to simulate what might happen, what might he do.
Gary's design went to NovaCopy in Nashville. The company used a 3D printer to make a mold of the foot for free.
Today's a big day with Buttercup. He gets his new foot today, and he's very excited.
The big moment, Buttercup's first steps. Buttercup's fame got him an invitation to join the Peabody Hotel's famous marching ducks in Memphis for a waddle down the red carpet on Wednesday. This special duck now has a lot to quack about. For today, Gabe Gutierrez, NBC News, Atlanta.
And still to come.